Not in a position to compete, Hatton. It's just you and Helmar again.
Well, Nick?
500.
Care to make it 1,000?
Certainly.
There you are. What have you got to say to that, eh?
Good boy. You've run a hand at last.
Oh, he's won again. Congratulations, Nick.
Your deal, Sir William.
I'm afraid, gentlemen, I must ask to be excused. I find the stakes are getting much too high for me.
Why is it always the same with you rich men?
Because we prefer to remain rich.
Oh, Thomas. Go and tell Mr. Hatton the last dance has begun. Our guest will be leaving in a moment.
Very good, madam.
Have you seen Master Barney anywhere?
He went into the garden, madam, with Miss Helmer.
If you see him, tell him I want him.
I will, madam.
This is the loveliest ball I've ever been to.
I'm glad.
Oh, you don't look it. Why are you so serious, Barney?
Because there won't be any more evenings like this at Mordelane. My father goes on gambling.
Oh, that. They all do it. My father's just as bad.
Maybe. But Mordelane doesn't belong to him.
I wish it did. It's a wonderful house. I love it.
Then you can guess how I feel about it. I was born here. So we're all the Hattons, right back to 1394.
And were those other Hattons as good looking, too?
Does it seem very foolish to you to love a house so much?
Oh, no, Barney. I understand how you feel, only...
Only what?
I wish I were the house.
Quite a change for the money to be coming in this direction. Well, what is it?
If you please, sir, Mrs. Hatton wants you to know the dancing is over and the guests are leaving.
Well, that hardly concerns us, does it?
Oh, Jimmy, it concerns me. They tell me some wives can be kept waiting. Mine isn't one of them.
Nor is mine.
John, it's the first time I've known you to break up a game.
Well, this game broke me up an hour ago.
Heaven knows I haven't got any of your money.
Somebody has. We'll be a lucky tenant who gets his roof repaired this year.
Let their roofs rot. Rain's healthy, makes them grow.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good night.
Thanks for the games.
Good night.
Excuse me, sir. Mrs. Helmer asked me to tell you that she and Miss Helmer are ready to go home, sir.
Well, what's stopping them? They can't expect me to leave while he's got some of my money. Tell them to take themselves home. I'll follow when it suits me.
Very good, sir.
Well, it's you and me left now, Nick. What shall it be, eh?
Let's give the dice a turn.
Yes, by all means. They can't behave worse than the cards.
If you please, ma'am, Mr. Helmer sends his compliments and asks if you and Miss Helmer will be good enough to...
Go home by ourselves? Is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I lay the message she sent wasn't as polite as that, either. I'm so sorry, my dear. Stay the night with us. Oh, I wouldn't dream of it. As a matter of fact, I'm only too happy to miss my lord and master after an all-night sitting. Oh, thank you. Come along, Dillis. Come and see us soon, Barney.
I will. Good night.
Night. Good night. Good night. Thank you. Oh, if Mr. Helmer's ruined in the morning, don't bother to send him home. Just give him a job in the stables.
I will.
Good night. Good night. I wish he wouldn't do it. He
He can't afford to lose night after night like this.
You know, Father. You might just as well wish you were somebody else.
At times like this, I very often do.
What is it, Mother? What's happened? Mother, he hasn't taken your jewelry. He can't do that.
He's done it.
I want my mother's jewelry. I'm afraid your mother no longer possesses any jewelry. This belongs to Nick.
Once in a way, my dear wife's going to be glad I set up gaming.
Father, you're drunk. You don't know what you're doing.
On the contrary, I know perfectly well. I'm in the process of losing £18,000, my gold snuff box, my carriage and pair, my 4 hunters, and your mother's jewelry to my old friend Nick Kilmer. I've only got one thing left to stake. And I'm going to stake that too.
What's that?
This house.
Magdalene!
Precisely.
Sir Edward, please, can you stop him?
It's no good, my boy. I've been trying all night.
But, Father, supposing you lose?
I shall have lost a very sporting wager.
Yes, but what's going to
Silence,
happen?
my dear fellow, interrupting a friendly game between gentlemen. Magdalene against everything you've won. Agreed?
Father!
Why not? We can't possibly afford to stay here now.
The whole place, as it stands, pictures, furniture, everything.
Oh, you'll leave me the clothes I stand up in.
I don't want your clothes. They wouldn't fit me.
Green Farm's my wife's.
All right. Leave Green Farm out of it.
But for heaven's sake, think what
It's
you're
too
doing.
late for thinking. You're through, Nick.
As you please. You're a witness, son.
He's drunk, Mr. Helmer. You've got no right to...
Now may the devil help me. Damnation take these rotten dice. All right, Chris. You can't help beating that. You may as well throw 'em, just to sake of form.
Thank you, Nick. For a most entertaining game. The house is yours. Good night.
I hope you'll come and visit us occasionally.
You're not going to hold my father to that?
Don't let it upset you, son. I'll give you a chance to win it back. Join me in a glass of wine. Will you?
Wake up, Barney. There's no groom coming to hold the horse. Here we are. This is our new mansion.
Chris, I never realized.
Oh, well, beggars can't be choosers, my dear.
It's so miserably small.
All the better if you have to look after it single-handed.
Nicky.
sure I don't know why you're crying.
Maggie. And I thought you'd run away. You ought to have stayed in Magdalene.
There now, ma'am, you know me better than that. I don't belong to Magdalene. I belong to you.
You'd better get the rest of the stuff out of the cart, Barney, and put the horse and cart away. Oh, and feed the horse. Oh, go on, my dear boy. There's a great deal to be done.
How's Green Farm these days?
What's that got to do with you?
Nothing wrong with Green Farm, is there? Got a roof over your head and food in your belly? There's lots these days has neither.
I know that.
Of course, you only been at it 6 months. Reckon it takes 10 years to make a farmer.
How long does it take you to shoe a horse?
Depends whom I'm doing it for. For a farmer's boy, I takes my time. What took you so long?
I had to wait to be served, Father.
They knew it was for me, didn't they?
Yes, Father.
Lindy. Go on and get me another. This time, don't take all day about it.
No, Father.
Well, here he is. Get over. I will say he's not what you're used to.
He's not mine, he's my father's. Come on.
Here, boy. I don't do this for nothing.
I forgot.
It's only the gentry can afford to forget. You remember that, Master Barney of Green Farm?
Come on, boy. Come on.
No, you don't, Jim. Get out of my road, Master Barney.
Why?
We won, sir.
What's she done?
Red old drab she be.
Put a spell on you like as not. Her mother's a gypsy witch.
Come on, Master Barney, give way.
What are you trying to do?
Duck her in the pond. Let us see if you can get the devil to hold her up.
10 of you to duck one girl? Get up behind. Good heavens, you ought to be ashamed. Hold tight! Here, use this.
Oh, thank you. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't come along.
Why were they chasing you?
They think my mother's a witch. Oh, it's all right. She's not really. She's just a gypsy.
Oh, will she be upset when you tell her about this?
She's left us. She's gone back to her own people.
But in that case, I don't see why they should torment you.
It was my fault, really. I told Fanny Moy this morning that her mother had fallen down in the marketplace and broken her arm.
Had she?
Oh, yes.
Were you there?
No.
And how did you know?
I saw it happen.
Do you often see things like that?
No, not often. Just sometimes.
Yes, but how?
I don't know. I just do.
What's your name?
Jassy Woodruff.
Jassy?
It's short for Jassy. It's from the Bible. Father chose it. Do I look better now?
Well, yes. Do you feel all right?
Yes. Well, that is, I don't think Fanny Moy's mother will have me back after today.
Oh. You'd better come back with me, young lady.
But why does your girl want work, Mr. Woodruff? Surely there's plenty for her to do at home.
There is. But I can't keep her, ma'am. Bread will be dear this winter, and a carpenter can't always find work.
Are you clean?
Yes, ma'am.
Show me your hands. Your nails? You understand we rise early?
Yes, ma'am.
Very well. I'll give her a trial. It's hard work in the dairy.
I'm a hard worker, ma'am.
Good. We better start now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Be a good girl, Jassy. Good day, ma'am, and thank you.
Good day. This way.
Maggie, this is our new dairymaid.
After all I've said.
That's superstitious nonsense. Her father's a God-fearing man and a preacher. Take her into the dairy and set her to wash the crocks.
You needn't keep your fingers crossed. I'm not a witch, really.
That's what you say. But I'm taking no chances with the likes of you. This way.
Never, teacher. Perhaps this sorts you.
Does it hurt very much? Lindy, what's the matter? Lindy, does it hurt very badly? Speak to me.
I'm afraid there's nothing more we can do for her now. It was an unlucky blow.
How long will she be like this, Doctor?
It's impossible to tell. The shock has severely affected her vocal cords. The loss of speech may be temporary, may be permanent. I can't say.
You mean my Lindy may never speak again?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I hold out very little hope of it. The man who gave her that blow deserves to be horsewhipped. Good day to you, Mrs. Wicks. Bring her to see me next week.
There's going to be nothing shoddy about the place when I finish with it. I want an entrance exactly like that picture I showed you.
Mr. Helmer, that gateway you showed me looks very well in Florence. I've seen it. In that setting, it's perfect. But against the background you've got here...
Then I'll change the background. Look here, Mr. What's-your-name, Sedley. Do you know how much I paid for that Italian marble? £1,000.
Yes, but...
There's no but about it. I know what I want, and I'm going to get it.
Yes, Mr. Helmer.
You got this job because my wife asked me to give it you. If you don't want it, you've only got to say so. Is that clear?
Yes, Mr. Helmer.
Then get on with it.
Quite, Mr. Helmer. Yes, Mr. Helmer. I'm sorry, Beatrice, but I can't stand it any longer.
Can't you? Not even if I say, yes, Mr. Sedley.
Mr. Hatton.
Thank you, Fielding.
Good evening, Chris. We haven't started yet.
Here's a place for you, Chris.
Thanks. I think I'll start with a drink.
Going to win tonight?
I hope so.
Good evening, Chris.
Evening, Nick.
How much credit do you allow him?
Just enough to make him happy.
Beatrice.
$500.
No good?
No. Covered. Pair of kings.
3 sixes.
One moment.
Why, what's the matter?
How many sixes of diamonds are there in this pack? No wonder your luck turned. Cheating, like a clumsy potboy.
I apologize. I've never done that before.
You whine and call on until I let you play on credit.
I had to play.
You played your last game here. Get out. Just a minute. You've left some wine. Fielding, show Mr. Hatton out.
I think I know my own way.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. I shouldn't have let him play. Sit down. Whose deal is it?
I finished for that.
I just started. Fennel, you're not going.
Thanks, I've had enough.
Stephen. But curse it, gentlemen, he got off lightly.
It's no good. I don't like your manners, Nick.
Where's Mrs. Helmer? I don't know, sir. Fred! Where's your mistress?
Haven't seen Mrs. Helmer since dinner, sir.
Where's Mr. Sedley?
Haven't seen Mr. Sedley either, sir. Not since dinner.
Beatrice! Beatrice! What are you doing up at this hour?
I was just going to bed.
Where's your mother?
I don't know.
Where's your mother?
She's gone into the garden.
Get to bed.
Nick, no! Oh! No! Stop!
For pity's sake, you're killing him.
Oh, why not?
I love him.
That's no reason. How long has this been going on?
Since June.
I knew your mind. I didn't think you'd dare.
I hate you. I've hated you for years.
I knew there was someone.
I'm going away with him.
I shan't stop you. Mrs. Helmer is never to enter this house again. See that all the servants know that.
What do they care? What? Can't live on 10 shillings a week, they say. Well, that's a pity. But it's all we can pay. Tell them your children are starving, and what do they say? Your children? Well, don't have so many. I tell you, Tom Woodruff, while we sticks to talking, they sticks to talking. And talk don't fill no man's belly.
Does burning their ricks fill your belly?
Maybe we'll not stop at ricks. Burn down their houses. What have they got to do?
If you stop burning ricks and houses, they'll call out the soldiers. How will you fight against them?
Well, I'll fight anyway. I won't lie down like a dog.
No, listen, friends. I know there's women and children starving. That's got to stop. But riotings and rick burnings won't stop anything.
What will then?
reason and justice.
Where's your reason and justice coming from, Tom?
From the farmers and landowners. Tell them how things stand and they'll help us. We've got to put up our case to all of them. We've got to speak 'em fair, do no evil, and put our trust in the Lord. I'm for starting round the landlords now. Who's with me?
Where are you going first?
Mordeline. Come on, man, we need you. Say what you like, you're not a bad talker yourself. Are you all ready? Come on, then, come on.
What's all this?
We'd like a few words with you, Mr. Harris.
I know you.
I work for your house.
Yes, you're a lot to do work. I've got no time for you. I've got no time for any of you. You go off my land in 1 minute, I'll tell you off, a whole lot of you.
Barney, you must take me to Magdalene. Please, Barney, please.
Jassy, what's the matter with you?
It's my father. Come quickly. I'll tell you on the way.
Jassy, be calm. What's happened?
It's my father, ma'am. He's in danger, deadly danger.
How do you know?
I do know. I see him.
See him? Heck of
No, you wouldn't understand. Barney, please.
Jassy, stay here for a moment.
Where are you going?
I'm going to saddle a mare.
I said, get off my land.
Drunken swine, it's no good talking to him.
You're right. We'll come back another day, Mr. Helmer.
When you're not so drunk,
What's going on?
Look at him, look at your lord and master. The man you sweat your guts out for. At 10 shillings a week.
If you don't get off my steps, I'll set the dog on you.
Steady, sir.
Oh, make it. Run.
Steady, sir.
Jassy, whatever's the matter?
What's happened?
Father.
I'm ready, Jassy.
It's too late now.
Jassy,
He's dead.
what do you mean?
They've killed him. I shall always remember you were willing to come.
He ran up the steps and cried out. I didn't hear what he said. The dogs leapt at him and the gun went off.
Don't, Jassy. You dreamt it all. I'm going to stay with you till he comes home.
He's coming home now.
When did it happen?
8. Church clock was striking.
Ma'am.
I'm sorry, Jassy, but I've made up my mind.
It's not my work, ma'am.
No, it's not your work.
Oh, then what is it, ma'am?
I'd really rather not discuss it, but it's only fair that you should know. It's Mr. Barney.
Does he want me to go?
No. But he's at an impressionable age, and you're an attractive girl. It isn't good that he should see so much of you.
Do you think he might fall in love with me?
You like him already, don't you?
No, not like. I love him. I shall never love anyone else.
You must see what an impossible situation it is. That's why you must go.
Will that make any difference?
Maybe not. Would you be willing to go as far as Baildon?
I must go anywhere I can find work.
There's a Miss Twisdale there who keeps a finishing school for young ladies. I'll give you a letter to her.
Mrs. Hatton speaks very well of you. I see your father is dead and your mother is a gypsy. Is your mother a gypsy?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Honest, respectful, clean. Show me your hand. Nails? Well, I'll give you a trial. Ring that bell. I don't know how much you had to do at Mrs. Hatton's. I expect my servants to work hard. I see Mrs. Hatton paid you £6 a year. £6?
Yes, ma'am.
5 will be enough. Mrs. Whiting, this is Jassy Woodruff, our new between maid.
Very good, madam.
Mrs. Whiting is our housekeeper. Follow her and do everything she tells you.
Have you finished, Jassy?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Brought in the coals?
Yes, ma'am.
Chopped the kindling, swept up?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you can go to bed.
Thank you, ma'am.
You'll get up at 5:45. You'll sweep the floor. You'll lay the fire. You'll light it. You'll fill that big kettle with water and put it on the fire.
Yes, ma'am.
You'll fill the coal scuttle, and then you'll collect all the shoes from outside the dormitory doors.
Anything else?
Yes, you'll start cleaning the shoes.
I was locked out. Who bolted the window? I did, miss. Well, Dundas never bolted. Oh. Who are you? I'm the new tweenie, miss. The last tweenie was a sport. Are you? Oh, yes, miss. Do you know who I am? Yes, you're Miss Helmar of Magdalene. I'm Dillis. Say it. Dillis. You won't bolt that window again, will you? No, miss. You won't tell? No, miss. Good night. Good night. What's your name? Jassy. Good night, Jassy. Good night, miss. Jassy. Come on. This is Jassy. Edwina Maud Sicily. She's not a real gypsy. Of course she is. Look at her eyes. Look at her hair. Do you eat toads and hedgehogs and things? Oh, can you tell fortunes? Of course she can. All gypsies can. Oh. Do tell mine. Don't be silly, sis. We're late already. Oh, please come to our room tonight, Jassy. Well, Mrs. Whiting says I mustn't go upstairs at night. Well, she won't know. It's perfectly safe. Jassy, do. Well, I'll see, miss. I'm dying to know how many husbands I'll have. Oh, no one will ever marry you. You won't have to. Cicely never says no. Oh, that's a lie. I'm icy cold to men. Shh, there's a bell. Please try and come, Jassy.
What are you doing? Well?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't mean it. I haven't dirtied it.
I'm sure you haven't.
I'll do the room now, ma'am.
No, I'm going to be in here. You can come back later. Oh, one moment. You're Jassy, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
You know who I am?
Yes, ma'am. You're Miss Twisdale's partner, Miss Hamilton.
That's right. Where did you learn to read, Jassy?
My father taught me, ma'am.
What have you read?
Only from the Bible.
But this is poetry. It's lovely. What are you reading? Show me.
I can see it.
Can you? Well, go on then.
If I could write the beauty of your eyes, and in fresh numbers number all your graces, the age to come would say, this poet lies. Such heavenly touches ne'er touched earthly faces. I'll do the room when you ring, ma'am.
goodness.
And in the morning they found her. Dead. How awful. I shan't sleep a wink tonight. Tell us another, Jassy.
No. Tell our fortunes. Tell mine.
No, I can't see into the future, and I won't pretend I can. But you said you could see things. Only sometimes. And only things that are happening now.
Even if they're miles away?
Sometimes.
I lay she can't.
Here. Show me your hands.
Come and sit here.
You're sad. Someone you love very much has been ill. Her mother's ill. We all know that. She's heard us talking. You needn't be sad anymore. She's better. I can see her, walking by the sea in the moonlight, with a short, dark man, with a kind face.
Is your father like that, Maud?
Yes, but he can't be with my mother by the sea.
Why not?
Because we live in Northampton, miles from the sea. I told you she was a swindle. Perhaps your mother's run away with another short, dark man. My mother wouldn't run away with anyone.
You made that up, and it's cruel of you. My mother's very ill. I have to go home tomorrow because she is so ill. She's going to die. I know she is. It's... Prithee.
Jassy? Edwina has something to say to you.
I'm sorry, Jassy. Please forgive me. It was true what you said. Every word of it.
Maud's heard from her mother.
I had a letter this morning. She is much better and she's gone to Brighton. She says she goes for a walk with my father along the front every night before going to bed. I'm going to write and tell her about you.
All right, you can go. But don't you be rude to Jassy again.
I'm so happy to know she's better.
So am I. But I was happy last night.
Who's that? Dilys! Where are you going?
Charles's regiment has been ordered to York, and I'm going with him.
What, tonight?
I left a note for Twizzy. She'll find it in the morning.
They'll fetch you back.
No, they won't. Charles won't let them, and I'm late.
Oh, Dilys, don't go. You'll be sorry. I know you will.
It's no use, Jassy. If I can't be with Charles, I'll die.
Oh, does he know you're going with him?
Not yet.
Oh, Dilys, wait. Think again.
Give my love to the others. Pass me that.
Are you sure he'll marry you?
Of course he will. Oh, you should feel my heart. That's what love does to you.
Don't worry, Jassy. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
For heaven's sake, be reasonable.
Why won't you take me with you?
Dilys, I've told you I can't. There'd be an awful row.
Not if we got married.
It's impossible to marry you. I can't afford it.
Didn't you mean anything you said?
Oh, of course I did. Oh, look, sweetheart, I told you I can only stay 5 minutes. You must go back.
I can't.
Then I must.
I can't go back, Charles. I left a note to say we'd gone.
A note? Did you mention my name?
I said I was eloping with a man I love.
Well, you're not. Oh, you're a very sweet little girl, and I'm very fond of you, but we're not eloping.
Charles!
Now, be sensible. Go back as fast as you can and get hold of that note. Goodbye.
No, Charles, no. Wait. Charles, you needn't marry me. Just take me with you.
Don't be a little fool. Goodbye.
I'm coming with you whether you want me to or not. I'll follow you. Why don't you love me anymore?
Dilys, for heaven's sake, go home.
I'll die if you leave me.
And don't be melodramatic.
I'll kill myself.
I've had enough of this.
Don't, Charles, don't. You're hurting me.
Now, don't follow me anymore. Do you understand?
Dilys! Dilys!
Dilys, are you hurt? What's the matter? What's happened, Dilys?
God, he does not love me anymore.
Oh, come on, come with me.
No, leave me alone.
But Dilys, you must come. We've got to get back. Come along.
Oh, Jassy.
Nonsense. It'll start again tomorrow. Come on.
No.
Wait here and don't move till I call you. Whatever you do, don't move.
Where have you been?
To the village, ma'am.
This hour of the night? What for?
I went to see my mother.
How did you know she was there?
I felt it. I do sometimes.
A likely story.
It may be true, Elizabeth.
It is true, ma'am.
It's a lie from beginning to end. What do you know about this?
Nothing, ma'am. I haven't seen it. I don't know what it is.
Where is Dilys Helmer?
Miss Helmer, ma'am? She must be in her bed.
You know she's not.
I don't think she does know. Look at her face.
Jassy, can you tell me truthfully that you don't know that Dilys Helmer has run away?
I haven't seen Miss Helmer, ma'am. Not since before breakfast in the corridor.
It's not Jassy's fault, Miss Twisdale. I made her do it.
Be out of this house by 10 tomorrow.
Anyone here? No. Are they going to punish her?
No, she's all right. She's been expelled.
So have I, in a way.
I wish I could be. They've sent for a coach for her. You know the stile that leads into Knight's Wood? She wants you to meet her there in half an hour. Oh, Jassy, isn't it thrilling? Did you see him last night?
No.
Aren't they awful creatures? She's as white as a sheet today. Do you think he ruined her?
He certainly ruined me.
No. Really? Oh, Jassy, do tell me.
Goodbye.
You're coming home with me.
But Dilys...
Oh, please come, Jassy. I need you. Well, what am I coming as? A servant or what? Well, you're coming as my friend, of course. Oh, Dilys, I can't do that. Well, why not? Coachman?
Yes, miss?
Drive on and don't stop till you get to Magdalene. Dilys, no one will believe you. Oh, look at my clothes to start with. Oh, that's easily remedied. Now then. Why not? You'll see. Good morning, Fred.
Right, here. Thought we'd got visitors.
Well, come on. Where's my father?
Is he expecting you?
No.
He's in the study.
What are you going to say to him? Well, nothing.
Lord sake, if it isn't Dilys.
What's all... What are you doing here?
Father, I've come home.
Come home?
Where's your friend?
Shut up, you, and get back to the kitchen.
That's not the way he usually talks to me.
I said get out.
Father, this is Jassy Woodruff. She's come to stay with me.
I've seen you before, haven't I?
No.
I've seen you before, but it doesn't matter. Didn't expect your holidays yet?
It isn't the holidays, Father. I left school for good.
Huh? They should have told me. How old are you?
19.
It's high time you left. Run along. We got a party tonight, so put on your best dresses. Did you say Woodruff?
Yes, Mr. Helmer.
Well, what do you think of my home?
Oh, it's lovely. Dillis, who's that girl downstairs?
She came as a parlor maid.
Oh, I see.
Oh, it's like that all the time. Has been ever since my mother went.
What happened to her?
She's dead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Well, I suppose this is better than being in school.
For me, it's much better.
Then stay with me, Jassy.
I'll stay as long as you want me to.
Well, we'll have to find you another dress. I'm going to be very grand tonight, so you must be too. Which will you have?
Oh, Dillis. I've never seen so many beautiful dresses. Oh, this one. May I?
Uh-huh.
They get their cottages for a song, they get their share of the produce, and now they want still higher wages. I tell you, there's no end to it.
There might be if you gave them what they wanted for a change.
Don't be a fool, Stephen. If I didn't know you were my own son, I'd...
What's this you've been keeping up your sleeve?
No, nothing. It's only my daughter.
Only your daughter. It's unlike you to be so modest.
This is her friend, Miss...
Woodruff.
Your servant, Miss Woodruff. Dillis, my dear child, what a delightful surprise.
And a very beautiful one.
Thank you. Why, Stephen, don't pretend you've never seen me before.
Forgive me, it was the surprise. You've grown up.
I'm glad you've noticed it.
Dinner is served, sir.
Thank you. I still think I've met you somewhere before.
No, I'm quite sure you haven't.
It's funny, I can swear the name Woodruff is familiar somehow.
As a matter of fact, you did meet my father.
Father?
Yes, surely you remember. You shot him dead just outside that door. I enjoyed this evening. I think it was the dress.
Well, keep it. You look lovely in it.
But it was you who made the conquest.
And Stephen. He's even duller than I remember him. This time last night, I still thought Charles loved me.
Oh, that will hurt for about a week.
I expect that's Father. He must be dreadfully drunk by now.
Shall I go?
No. Is that you, Father?
Yes. I want Miss Woodruff.
I'll say you're asleep.
No, I'll talk to him. Yes, Mr. Helmer?
Your father. On my mind all evening. Most unfortunate. Never would have happened if I'd been sober. I hope you'll let bygones be bygones.
They are bygones, whether one lets them be or not.
It was an accident, you know.
I know, Mr. Helmer. Good night.
Good night. No offense.
There's the pond where Barney saved me from a ducking.
Barney Hatton?
Let's go and see him.
Oh, you can't do that. You can't go calling on a bachelor.
You sound just like Miss Twisdale.
Father'd be furious.
Not if he doesn't find out.
Come on, let's go.
By all the saints, it's Jassy Woodruff.
Oh, Maggie. May we come in?
Yes. You've got very fine. Who's that?
Oh, this is Miss Helmer. Is Mr. Barney at home?
No, he's not been home since early morning. He went out to plough the 12-acre.
Well, then we'll wait. Sit down, Dillis.
Oh, no. Fine ladies like you wait in the parlor, not in the hall.
Oh, there's Barney now. I recognize his footstep. Barney, have you forgotten me?
No, of course not. Only you've changed, Jassy.
Have I changed too, Barney?
No, you haven't changed, Dilys.
I'm glad. Well, that's settled.
Well, let's all go into the parlor.
Oh, it's just as I remembered it. Look, Dilys, there's the desk my father made for Barney. Oh, this came from Magdalene, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Please sit down, Dilys.
Oh, the clock still says 20 to 3. Barney,
Yes?
why don't you come and see us?
You know that's impossible.
Because of that silly old quarrel.
I don't call it a silly quarrel.
Something that happened over the card table when Father was drunk.
He wasn't too drunk to hold my father to his bet and cheat me out of my home.
I didn't steal it from you, Barney.
So you won't come and see us?
I shall never set foot in Magdalene again until it's mine.
I think you better change the subject, Jassy.
I'll wash the glasses.
Oh, ask Maggie to do it.
She won't find that very easy. She still has her fingers crossed.
Close the door.
Oh, close the door.
You still have that same look in your eyes when you talk about Magdalene. And I still like it.
I mean to get it back one day.
And I expect you will.
I'm not joking.
I can see that. Do you know what I've been remembering all the afternoon?
No.
That last ball at Magdalene. When we slipped away into the garden.
I thought of that the moment I saw you.
I think that's why I'm here.
Seems years ago. We were very young.
Barney.
You know what you're doing?
Yes, I do.
Jassy will be back.
When can I see you again?
I don't know. It's rather difficult.
Oh, please, Barney.
St. Spinney, Wednesday at 6.
Oh, Barney.
Where's Dilys?
She's gone to see the Fennels.
Didn't think she had that much sense. Listen, young lady, I'm bored and lonely. Do you play backgammon?
No.
Cards?
No.
Dice?
No.
Chess?
Yes, I can play chess.
Oh, very well, we'll play chess. That is, if you'll be kind enough to honor me with your company.
Where's Amelia?
In the kitchen where she belongs.
I suppose chess isn't her game.
Happy? Did you have much difficulty getting away?
Oh, no. I said I was going over to the Fennels.
What for?
See Stephen.
Why, Stephen?
Nick wants me to marry him.
You tell Nick that you're going to marry nobody but me.
No, Barney. He mustn't know yet. I want it to be our secret.
Oh, I want everybody to know.
Not yet. I'd like this to go on forever.
Oh, well. So long as you really love me.
Barney, I'll never love anyone as much as I love you. Never.
Who taught you to play chess?
My father.
I've never met a girl who played chess before.
Perhaps you never asked them. I can handle my own men, thank you, Mr. Helmar.
I see they taught you something at school.
They didn't teach me anything. But I learned a lot.
Check.
Mate,
Come in, don't stand there.
very nimble. But I can't pay you. I haven't a penny in the world.
Debts of honor must be paid.
I know. Chess was the only game we both knew. Mr. Helmar would gamble.
You're late, miss. Who brought you home?
Stephen?
Did you get him to propose to you?
No.
Well, the sooner you do, the better I'll be pleased.
You lost then? 5 shillings.
We'll call it even. You've made the only drinkable cup of coffee I've had in a long time. night.
Good night.
Good night.
Well, he went to bed sober anyway.
Can't one of you see that there's something fit to eat? Blasted parasites! Sitting doing nothing all day long. Don't stand there grinning like a... Take this muck away. Bring me some bread and cheese.
No, I'll see what can be done.
Tell that fat pig in the kitchen she's sacked. They're all sacked. Fill my glass, blaster. When's your precious friend leaving us?
There's nowhere to go.
She can stay then. She's worth a dozen of you any day.
Yes?
There's no need to be mealy-mouthed about it. That's your mother all over again. Sweet. Sweet and rotten. Sweet as honey and full of poison. Are you listening?
There, Mr. Helmar. Is that more to your liking?
Well, I'll be... This looks good.
It is good. It's your servant's supper.
What? Did you tell them they were sacked?
Yes?
Listen, young woman, I've got a proposal to make. How much would you want to run this house?
£20 a year, paid quarterly.
Agreed.
In advance. I'd want a free hand with the servants.
There's no argument about that.
And Amelia?
You can start on Amelia.
I'll do it.
Good. There's your first quarter.
And there's your 5 shillings.
Huh?
Debts of honor must be paid.
Is that all I get after 5 years' service?
It's all you're entitled to. If you add it to what you've stolen, you won't starve.
Oh, I don't know why I'm going. I've never done nothing.
That's why.
Well, you're very welcome to my leavings.
Now you. I dare say I'm a fool not to sack the lot of you, but I can always change my mind. Without them, you won't have so many distractions. If your work is good, you'll stay. If not, you'll follow them quickly. That's all. Janie.
Yes, miss?
I was a kitchen maid once, and I don't believe I was any better than you.
What, you, miss?
You're parlor maid now, and your wages are doubled.
Oh, thank you, miss.
In future, you'll do your fair share of the work and no more. I'll see to that.
I beg pardon, Miss Jassy.
Come in, Mrs. Wicks. Now get about your business.
I brought the washing, miss. Lindy.
Oh, Mrs. Wicks, that's too heavy for her.
She's very strong, miss. You'd be surprised. Strong in the arm, weak in the head, as the saying is.
Lindy.
Well, look at that now. There's only one other I've ever seen her do that for. And that was your dear father, God rest him.
Yes, he was very fond of her.
And a fine man he was, too. I can remember him converting Wicks as if it was yesterday. It's a pity he didn't do it before Wicks struck my poor girl down.
How is she?
She's as you see her, poor scrap. She won't never be no different.
Well, don't work her too hard.
She's got to work. She ought to be out in service like I was at her age, but who'd take a dummy?
Mrs. Wicks, would you let her come here?
Oh, Miss Jassy, if she could do that. I can't tell you what a weight it'd be off my mind. She's a good worker, sure what to do, and she'll do it. And you can have her cheap. All she'll want is a corner to sleep in and any scraps of food that's left over. And she's clean, like a new pin. Show the lady your hands, Lindy.
No. No, never mind. Lindy, would you like to come and work for me? That's settled then, Mrs. Wicks. I'll look after her.
I'll never love anyone as much as I love you. Never.
There's nobody to see us. Come on. Well, isn't this better, darling?
Oh, no, Barney, no.
But Dillis, you were different in the spinney.
Well, it's Maggie. She might come in.
Well, what if she does? Maggie! Maggie!
I heard you the first time.
Tea, Maggie, please. And some of your biscuits.
Who's that hiding behind you?
Miss Helmer.
Oh, I knew it was one or the other.
I told you I didn't want to be seen here.
But why not? It'll be your home before long. Darling, what's the matter?
Oh, someone else may see us too.
But suppose they do.
Then Father would get to hear of it.
But he'd have to know about it soon.
I don't see why.
But we can't get married and keep it a secret.
Marriage? Who spoke of marriage?
Do you want to go on as we are? Sneaking out to meet in the woods? Afraid all the time that somebody's going to see us? Dillis, either you love me or you don't. And if you love me...
I do love you, Barney. You know I do. There's something else in marriage besides being in love. There's a question of where one wants to live and how.
The biscuits are good. I baked them myself an hour ago. There's no one can match my biscuits. There now. I've forgotten the cream.
We can do without cream.
I wonder who that'll be.
Whoever it is, Maggie, I'm not at home. Do you understand?
All right, all right. I wasn't born yesterday.
Good afternoon, Maggie. I've come to see Mr. Barney.
Master Barney's not at home.
Oh, where is he?
I don't know. I only know where he isn't, and that's at home.
Well, don't shut the door on me. I'll wait for him. I'm here on business. I'm housekeeper at Magdalene now, and I want him to supply us with eggs and chickens. I'll be in here when he comes. Dillis. I'm sorry. Maggie told me you were out. I was going to wait.
I told her to say that, Jassy. I only wanted to be alone while I persuaded Dillis to marry me.
Barney, I never...
Thought you were going to marry Stephen Fenn.
Fenno?
I don't know what gave you that idea.
As a matter of fact, you did.
That was to keep Father from knowing.
And me, too? Are you going to marry Barney?
Yes, she is.
Then I hope you'll both be very happy.
Jassy, you're not going to tell Father, are you? You fool! Blurting that out in front of a servant.
Jassy isn't a servant.
She's nothing but a kitchen maid. Perhaps she's the one you ought to marry. You'll be more at home with her, and she'd be more at home here.
May I speak to you, Mr. Helmer?
I want to see Miss Helmer.
She's out.
Oh, when will she be back?
Don't know, sir. She hasn't been here for quite a while.
Oh, and Miss Woodruff?
Oh, she's here all right, sir.
Ask her if she can spare me a few moments.
Yes, sir.
Barney, what are you doing here? I thought you were never going to enter this house again.
I had to come. What's happened to this? Nothing. But I haven't seen her for 3 weeks. Is she ill?
No, she's at the Fennels. She's staying there for the wedding.
Wedding?
Stephen Fennels.
Who's he marrying?
Dilys.
Dilys? You're joking.
Go and ask her. Barney, do you love her so very much?
Need you ask?
I thought perhaps you loved Magdalene better.
Jassy. Surely she doesn't think that too.
Why not? But I do.
But it's absurd. You can't compare a house with a woman.
No, you may not know it, but the house would always win. Oh, don't worry, Barney. I'll get it back for you someday. I swear I will.
Good morning, Hatton. What can I do for you?
The message I sent was to Dilys.
She's not well. She can't see you. Where are you going?
To find her.
Just one moment. Perhaps you don't know that Miss Helmer has promised to marry me. And now, good morning.
If that's true, let her come and tell me herself. Dilys, is it true?
Yes.
Then you are going to marry Fennel.
Yes, Barney. But listen.
You had the same arrangement with me, remember?
I didn't. Stephen, I never promised to marry him.
I know all about this, Hatton. Dilys has told me. You took advantage of a boy and girl affair to try and force her into marrying you.
Congratulations, Dilys. A delightful way of putting it. I hope you'll find her as reluctant as I did.
If you do that again, I shall have to go.
What's the matter with you? Aren't you flesh and blood, the same as everyone else?
Well, suppose I am. Is that any reason for you to paw me?
I can't help it, Jassy. I want you.
You've made that very clear.
Well, what's wrong with me?
Nothing.
Then why won't you marry me?
Marry you? I didn't think marriage was what you intended. I don't remember you asking me that before.
I'm asking you now. Will you marry me?
No,
Why not?
because I don't love you.
I don't mind about that, as long as you marry me.
What would I get out of it?
What do you want?
Magdalene.
You're mad.
On the contrary, I'm perfectly sane and very reasonable. Settle Magdalene on me before the wedding and I'll marry you.
Might as well ask for the moon when you're about
Well,
it.
there's no need to be insulting. You asked me my price for marrying you and I've told you. If you don't want to pay it, that's your affair. I can wait. Your move.
Forasmuch as Nicholas and Jassy have consented together in holy wedlock, and have witnessed the same before God and this company, and thereto have given and pledged their troth either to other, and have declared the same by giving and receiving of a ring, and by joining of hands, I pronounce that they be man and wife together.
Good night, Nick.
Where are you going?
To my room.
Haven't you forgotten something?
I don't think so.
I thought we were married this morning.
Yes.
Well,
Nick, we made a bargain. Marriage in exchange for Magdalene. Well, I married you. But I didn't say I'd live with you as your wife, and I won't.
you never intended to make me a wife.
No.
You can't cheat me like that.
Nobody's cheating you. We played a game of wits and I won. Good night. Good morning, Nick. Isn't it a lovely day?
Good morning. I don't want anything. Listen, Jassy, those things you said to me last night, you didn't mean them. Tell me you didn't mean them.
I meant every word I said.
You're not going to live with me?
No.
Then you got this house by false pretenses.
I won it from you in the same way you won it from Chris Hatton.
Listen, Jassy, you can keep the house.
I have every intention of doing so.
Now, I'll give you everything you ask for besides position, money, dresses, everything you want.
I've got all I want.
Why do you hate me so? What did I ever do to you?
In the whole of my life, I've only loved two men. You killed one and ruined the other. I shall never forgive you for that. So long as you behave yourself, you may stay on in this house. And don't you dare lay a finger on me, because if you do, I shall have you turned out of here at once. Is that understood? Oh, run away, Looney. I'm busy. Oh, go on.
I ought to put it away, though.
What's the matter, Lindy? What are you trying to tell me? Is it something to do with Mr. Helmar? Has something happened to him? No, wait a moment. We must have help. Fred! Get one of the other men and follow us. Mr. Helmar's had an accident.
It might be worse. It's a good thing he was found when he was, otherwise... under the feet.
Not under the head?
No. Now, I want you to keep these raised as much as possible.
How badly is he hurt?
Well, at his age and in his state of health, a fall of any sort's always serious. We'll know better tomorrow.
What can I do for him?
Well, until he regains consciousness, nothing. Then complete rest and quiet. No solid food, no wines, no spirits. If he's thirsty, a little milk and water. If he's restless, 10 drops of this. But remember, no alcohol of any sort. You understand?
Yes, Doctor. Lindy, this is all my fault. It's as much my fault as if I'd taken a gun and shot him. If he dies now, I shall have murdered him. But he mustn't die, Lindy. We won't let him. We'll nurse him together. Nobody else shall touch him. Then it can never be said I didn't do everything I could to get him well again. Sugar?
Well, I suppose she thinks I can't make bread and milk.
Anyone who likes to do my work's welcome.
Filthy slops.
It's nothing of the sort. It's good, wholesome gruel. I made it myself.
Why can't I have a glass of wine?
Because the doctor said you
Oh,
were...
curse the doctor. Take that filthy muck away.
Oh, I'd give him a lot, miss. Start building him up again.
This will be sufficient. I'll take it, Mo.
Maybe she don't want him built up again.
I said meat.
The doctor said fish.
Fish. Filthy muck. You trying to poison me? Send that little horror out of the room or I won't eat a mouthful.
You wouldn't be alive today if it wasn't for Lindy, who found you and nursed you devotedly for 2 weeks. Why can't you stop behaving like a spoiled child?
Come here. Closer. Mind your manners when you speak to me.
Oh, don't cry, Lindy. Doesn't matter.
All clear?
Wait a minute. Oh! Who's that for?
The master. He told us to bring him something fit to eat.
Put it down. Mr. Helmar's had his dinner. Any servant found taking food or drink to his room will be dismissed. I hold you responsible, Moat.
There you are. What did I tell you?
What do you think's behind it all, Mr. Moat?
You acting like a child again?
I shall act as I please.
Of course you will. And go to any lengths never to please anyone else.
Now, what filth have you brought me this time?
It's an extremely delicate chicken hash.
Chicken hash. I need a chop or a steak and a couple of bottles of Burgundy. You trying to starve me?
Don't be ridiculous. Eat it up.
I told you to mind your manners when you spoke to me.
When you do things like this, you make me wish you would...
Go on. Go on, say it. You wish I was dead. I know you do. Well, why don't you say it?
If you know it, there's no need to.
I wish I was dead. Might as well be. Nobody cares for me. Nobody thinks enough of me to give me a drink or drop in for a chat.
Can you blame them when you behave like this?
You keep them away, that's why.
Nothing of the sort.
Well, where's Dillis? Why isn't Dillis here?
She refuses to come. I've told you that.
You mean you keep her away?
I've sent her messages 12 times.
Messages are no good. Go there, now, and tell her that I've ordered you to bring her back with you.
I'll go if you like. But last time you saw her, you talked to her with a riding crop. Or have you forgotten?
No, and I won't forget the way you treated me while I've been helpless either.
No, Lindy, go back. He won't hurt you. I want you to stay with him.
When I ring, come at the gallop. Understand? Now, have we got rid of the jailer? Your mistress, you idiot. Has she gone to fetch Dillis? Good. Now I can be master in my own house for a change. Come here. I won't hurt you if you do as I tell you. Come here. Go down to the study and look in the cupboard under the window. Understand? You'll see a bottle there. A bottle of brandy. Bring it to me. Must I fetch it myself? Go, you idiot! Fetch me the brandy! Falling on your hands and knees.
That's better.
We won't even discuss it. Please tell Mr. Helmer that my wife will not go to see him.
Even if he's really ill.
Miss Woodruff, is Mr. Helmer in any immediate danger?
I told you exactly what the doctor said in my letters. Yesterday he said Mr. Helmar was much better.
Then why this sudden urgent need for my wife to visit him?
Dillis, he wants to see you. That was the message he asked me to give you.
Dearest, there is something.
Lindy, what have you done?
Miss Woodruff, did my father-in-law suggest that he wished to have a business discussion with my wife about the estate, or what's the matter?
What is it, Jassy?
He's dead.
Well, who's dead?
Nick, he's dead.
Dead? But a minute ago you said that he was better.
I must go. You'd better come with me.
When did he die?
About 20 minutes ago, sir. Fred found him.
I was on my way in here from the kitchen, sir, when I heard him crying out. I was upstairs in no time, but he died as I reached his bed.
Was there nobody with him?
The loony was there, sir.
The loony?
Oh, some half-witted girl Jassy found. Why was he left alone with her?
That's not for me to say, madam.
Answer Mrs. Fennell's question.
We were told, sir, that any servant who entered Mr. Elmer's room would be dismissed.
Who told you that?
Miss Woodruff.
You can all go back to work. I've sent for the doctor. I'm sure you'd like to see him.
You've sent for the doctor?
Does that surprise you?
There are many things here which surprise us, Miss Woodruff. Many things. You seem to have taken a great deal of authority into your own hands.
I may as well tell you. You'll know soon enough. Dillis, your father married me.
I don't believe it. When?
On the 17th of April.
You didn't waste much time.
Why the secrecy?
It was Mr. Helmar's wish. I think he was ashamed of the marriage.
I'm not surprised.
You understand what this means. She did it to take Magdalene from you.
On the contrary. Mr. Helmar and I were free to make our own bargain. I was willing on one condition to marry him. He was willing to accept that condition.
Which was?
That he made Magdalene over to me before the marriage. It was all done in Lawyer Aldrich's office. Perfectly legal and quite irrevocable.
We'll go into that question later.
By all means.
Meanwhile, I intend to report the whole matter to my father at once.
Your father? I don't understand.
You will. He's Lord Lieutenant of the county and a justice of the peace.
And now, gentlemen for the jury, I have outlined for you, as it was my duty to do, the evidence which I propose to call for the prosecution. If you accept that evidence, you have the following position. You have the prisoner, Jacinth Woodruff, now Helmar, married to a man many years older than herself, a man for whom she's never shown any great affection, a man who was responsible for the death of her father, a man by whose death she stood to gain a great fortune. I leave it to you to imagine whether she wished him alive or dead. However that may be, and you will form your own opinions from the evidence, the fact remains that chance delivered into her hand a weapon in the person of the accused Wicks. And I suggest that all the evidence shows that the accused Helmar deliberately used the girl Wicks, just as other murderers have used a knife or a firearm to bring about the death of her husband. One more thing. I have told you that the accused Wicks is incapable of speech. Nobody regrets this more than I. If only she could speak, what a tale she could tell. Now, gentlemen of the jury, I shall place the evidence before you. How often did you see your master during his illness?
Not once.
You mean you didn't see him at all?
No, sir.
Why not?
Because I had my strict orders that no servant was to enter Mr. Elmer's room, sir.
And what about the girl? Lindy.
Oh, the loony. She was in and out all the time, sir.
And who gave orders to the loony, as you call her?
No one was allowed to tell her anything except Miss Woodruff. Mrs. Elmer, that is.
I see. And did she appear to understand the orders she got from the accused Helmar?
Oh, yes, sir. And that was the queer part. She seemed to understand every word that Mrs. Elmer said to her. There was nothing that Mrs. Elmer couldn't teach her to do.
There was nothing Mrs. Helmar couldn't teach her to do.
Thank you.
As footman, it would naturally be part of your duties to carry the meals to Mr. Helmar's room.
In any other house, yes, sir.
But not in this house. I see. Now, would you tell the court how Mr. Helmar's meals were prepared and served?
Well, Miss Woodruff prepared every meal herself, sir. It was taken up to him either by her or by the loony.
What about drink?
Oh, he had no drink, sir. He had milk.
I did not quite catch that, Sir Edward.
The witness said he had no drink, my lord. He had milk.
I see. A nice distinction.
I think we're dealing with an expert witness, my lord.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Barton, I want you to carry your mind back to the first occasion when you listened at Mr. Helmer's bedroom door.
I wasn't listening.
I beg your pardon. The first occasion when you happened to be in the passage and happened to overhear some remarks. You say you heard Mr. Helmer say, "You're trying to poison me."
That's right.
Do you happen to remember what Mr. Helmer had for dinner that day?
I do, as it happens. Fish.
A whole fish?
No, part of a fish, a big one.
Oh. And what happened to the rest of this big fish? Was it eaten in the kitchen?
No. Cook threw it away.
Threw it away? Why?
Well, she didn't fancy it. There wasn't one of us would have cared to eat what Mrs. Elmer cooked for Mr. Elmer.
Did you see the accused Helmar on the day Mr. Helmar died?
Yes.
Where?
At my home. She came to see my wife.
How far is your house from Magdalene?
2 miles.
2 miles. Now, would you tell the jury, in your own words, what happened at that interview?
Well, we suddenly noticed that Mrs. Helmer was looking very strange. She stared at me in a very odd manner, and then she said, "He's dead." I think my wife said, "Who's dead?" And Mrs. Helmer replied, "Nick, he's dead."
And immediately after this, I believe you and Mrs. Fennell accompanied the accused back to Magdalene.
Yes.
On the way, did you ask the accused for any explanation of the extraordinary scene you've just described?
Yes, I did. I reminded her that 5 minutes earlier, she had told us that Mr. Helmer was very much better, and asked her why she was now so certain that he was dead.
And what did she say?
She said, "I saw him die."
I saw him die. Thank you, Mr. Fennell. You've known the accused Helmar for a long time, hmm?
Yes. She used to work for my mother.
Would you call yourself a good friend of hers?
Well, friend, yes.
And you want to help her all you can?
Yes, naturally.
Is that why you came here? To tell us that she had had these visions before?
I came because I know she had. To my certain knowledge.
You're referring, I take it, to the time when she came to Green Farm and told you that her father had been killed.
Yes.
And you really believe that that was a vision?
Yes.
Can you be certain it was?
Absolutely certain.
How do you know that the accused wasn't at Magdalene with the men when her father was killed and came on to Green Farm afterwards?
She couldn't have done.
Why not?
Because of the time. He was killed while the clock was striking.
Just a moment. He was killed while the clock was striking. Which clock?
The one at Magdalene.
But supposing the clock at Magdalene had been 10 minutes fast and the one at Green Farm had been 10 minutes slow, then she could have been in both places while the clock was striking. Couldn't she?
Well, I suppose so.
Thank you, Mr. Hatton.
Yes.
That'll be all.
Members of the jury, are you agreed upon your verdict?
We are.
Do you find the prisoner Belinda Wicks guilty or not guilty of murder?
Guilty.
Do you find the prisoner Jacinth Helmer guilty or not guilty of murder?
Guilty.
You find both prisoners guilty of murder, and that is the verdict of you all?
That is the verdict of us all.
Prisoners at the bar, you severally stand convicted of murder. Have you, or either of you, anything to say why the court should not give you judgment of death according to the law? Jacinth Helmer?
My lord, I am not guilty, but I ask no mercy for myself. I only beg you to remember that this girl, Belinda Wicks, should not be held responsible for her actions. Let the whole fault rest with me, because wrongly believing her capable of looking after my husband, I left him in her care.
Belinda Wicks, nod your head if you understand me. Have you anything to say why the court should not give you judgment of death according to the law? Do you wish me to repeat my question?
No! Not her! Me!
Silence! Well, I believe something very like a miracle has averted a gross miscarriage of justice. I beg that your lordship will allow this prisoner to go into the witness box.
What have you to say, Sir Edward?
My lord, the trial is over. Both prisoners have been found guilty, but we are here above all to see that justice be done. I agree with my learned friend. The accused must be heard.
I direct that she go into the box and be heard on oath.
Take the book in your right hand. Repeat after me. I swear by Almighty God. Speak up. I swear by Almighty God.
I swear by Almighty God.
The evidence I give the court
The evidence I give the court
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And when did the idea of administering this poison first occur to you?
When I got the brandy, very strong, to hide the taste of poison.
And Mrs. Helmer had already left the house.
Yes. I couldn't do it. If she was there, she'd find out. She'd be angry with me.
Can you account for Mrs. Helmer's knowing about Mr. Helmer's death when she was 2 miles away?
She could see things. Always see things. Everybody knew.
My lord, sentence has been pronounced.
These are the papers you asked for, Sir John.
You sent for me?
Yes. Mrs. Helmer gave me instructions that this letter was to be handed to you.
Oh, thank you.
Dear Barney, this letter comes to you with a deed of gift which makes Magdalene yours. I am glad to be able to give you the thing you've wanted so long.
I only married Nick Helmar to get it for you. So enjoy it, or you'll spoil the only thing I ever had to give you. Remember me sometimes when I'm gone. If there's anything left of me anywhere, I shall remember you.
Barney. Oh, so they gave you my letter.
Yes. Why did you do it?
Who else could I leave it to?
You must take it back, Jassy.
What would a gypsy do with a great barn of a place like that?
Share it with me.
I never thought I'd hear you say that.
I mean it.
I believe you do. But now that you're going back to Magdalene, my work is done. I'm moving on.
Don't say that, Jassy, please. Oh, it's wonderful to know that Magdalene will be mine again, and I love it, but...
But that's just it, Barney. Whenever you think of Magdalene, a light comes in your eyes. A light I've never seen there for me. Goodbye, Barney. I wish I were the house.
Jassy!